Hey everybody, Chef Kimber Dean here. We just got back from church and my kids weren't feeling great today, even though it is still spring, almost summer. We got a few weeks left of spring. And so I'm gonna make their favorite chicken noodle soup, which was made to heal. It's amazing what our ancestors already knew. So I'm gonna get cut in here while I talk to you guys, but we just love chicken noodle soup in our house, especially when we aren't feeling good. The onions, carrots, celery, all have nutrients that are gonna help the body heal, different vitamins, minerals. So just getting that going. We're gonna put this straight into our pot. And I'm gonna share the recipe in the comments. I'm gonna do kind of like a 1.5 times, almost double batch, because we eat this so much and we use it so much that I actually like to freeze it. And that way when my girl's not feeling good, my husband's not feeling good, just like you would buy, canned chicken noodle soup, you can pull this from the freezer and boom, it's just ready to go, which is a huge help for my family. So we love celery, especially cooked celery. So good for you, really good for your bones. Believe because of the calcium content, but look that up. Don't quote me on that. And then we're gonna do carrots. So who doesn't love carrots? I like to do different shapes with my veggies for the soup. So like these here, we got little half moons kind of for the kids. And then for the carrots, I'm gonna do round. And again, this is just so my kids have something to eat with their eyes. It's a little more playful, different shapes, so it can be a little bit more fun. You could use rainbow carrots. You could use yellow, purple, really any carrot here. It's kind of fun to change up the colors during different seasons, Halloween, those types of things. So I'm actually gonna turn my stovetop on here, and we're gonna need 1/2 cup of avocado or olive oil. You could use coconut oil too if you like the taste. I'm just gonna eyeball that here. I'm just gonna get that starting to sizzle. So you can hear the sizzling here that the onions, carrots, celery are starting to get. Stir that up. As you can see, we're just stirring up our onions, carrots, and celery. We just want these to start to cook down, so they're cooking a little bit quicker and they're gonna be tender when the chicken's nice and cooked for us. So show you how to do this onions as I just did them. I'm gonna go horizontally almost to the end. You wanna keep it intact so it stays together and holds. And then we're gonna start to slice here. And then just cut into little pieces. Some people don't like onions, so I like to cut them pretty small. Not like the carrots or the celery where you can really see them. So what I'm gonna add here now is some bone broth that we have from Happy Food, my company, which we use local chicken bones and chicken feet and back to get the most collagen out of it, so it's the most nutrient dense. I also have a little bit that I already made in my house that I put into a mug. I had planned on drinking it, but this looks like a little bit of a better use today. So I'm just trying to get my onions translucent, which means see-through, and then I'll be able to add this chicken broth. I'm about to add my chicken broth. I did grab 2 out of the freezer because I wanted this to be realistic of how I actually roll, and I keep them in my freezer so then I have them for months on end. But as you can see, they're still frozen. I didn't pull them out in time, our chicken bone broth. So I'm just gonna get them hot so that they just fall out into the soup here. All right, so we'll go ahead and just pour this one in. And then these 2 are gonna go in and they will just melt as this heats up. So just being aware with the chicken broth that you're using, if it is with salt and seasoning. Make sure that you try this before adding all my seasoning in. Mine is not going to be intense with like different herbs or spices or sea salt, so I'm going to go ahead and add all of our spices in now and reconstitute here so that we really get that flavor. Sea salt, we have our onion powder, a little heavy on that because I just love my spices so much. We got garlic powder, of course, heart health, immune health. I like a lot of flavor, like I said, so I'm gonna keep going big. And then we have our thyme, which is gonna be 1 teaspoon. So all of these herbs are just really nutrient dense for our bodies, really healing for our immune system. Some rosemary. And then last but not least, oregano. One of our #1 go-tos, whether it be an essential oil, a capsule, or in our food, whenever we have some sort of virus or we need to heal. So just getting that in there. We're gonna start to let this come to a boil. Stir all that in. So the bone broth is already almost melted in. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut my chicken while we have that coming to a boil. And I just wanna go ahead here and do bite-sized pieces so that my kids can eat it, I can eat it, but it's incorporated so everybody gets a little bit of chicken because I feel like noodles and chicken are most people's favorite. So I like to cut it really small so everybody gets some. All right, everybody, so I don't know if you can see here, but we are bringing this up to a boil and it is there. That bone broth that was frozen is now liquid and it's melted in. So I'm gonna add my noodles before the chicken. So we got the chicken prep while we were waiting. Organic's always the best. This is just brown rice and quinoa flour turned into noodles. If you don't do grains, you could do a chickpea noodle. There's a lot of bean noodles. I personally like the jovial cassava flour noodles. There's different shapes, obviously, for everything. But those I just love because I'm grain free and I love beans too, but some people can't do beans, whether they be on an a lectin-free diet. So no lectins would be no beans, maybe a nightshade. So this is just a great option. I really like this one. So we're gonna pour it in, stir it up. This says to cook for 7 to 10 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is do 5 minutes and then I'm gonna add the chicken and add another 4 minutes to the timer because I don't wanna overcook the noodles by cooking them all the way, adding the chicken, and then the noodles turn to mush because I have to cook the chicken longer. And I don't wanna overcook the chicken by adding it in now and then it gets dried out. Nobody likes rubbery dried out chicken in their chicken noodle soup. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a timer on, let this come to a boil, stirring occasionally. It's not like spaghetti where you have to stir consistently because it's gonna stick together. If you don't, you can just do it occasionally and you're good to go. So we'll come back in about 5 minutes. So as you can see, the chicken noodle soup has come to a boil. Our noodles are almost all the way cooked. So we're gonna add our chopped chicken. I use chicken tenders just because that's what I had in my fridge. I personally like dark meat better for most things because it holds that fat and that moisture better. White meat is really easy to dry out, so you just have to be really careful and then just make sure all that spreads. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add on 4 to 5 more minutes, checking this at 4 minutes, making sure it's cooked through, and then we'll take it off the heat. All right, everybody, we're back. Chicken looks good. The way I'm gonna check it, first I'm gonna turn my heat off, just because I feel like I'm done. I'm gonna find a really big piece here. Here we go. Scoop that guy out, put it in my bowl, cut it in half. You can use a knife and a cutting board if you want, but it's perfectly cooked through. Do you see no pink there? Oh my God, okay. Oh. I'm gonna grab some of this beautiful soup. And like I said, we really like a lot of chicken in ours, so there's not a ton of broth, but there's definitely enough. Oh my gosh, yum. Okay. So I'm gonna pull this back because it is done. I want to take it off that heat. And I have no problem diving into this right away. The broth, the local bone broth that we make, any bone broth, Kettle and Fire is a great one. So good for gut healing, which is so important for immune health. All the herbs, the veggies, the chicken with the protein. I mean, everything in here is so good for you. Oh my gosh, it's seasoned perfectly. Please make this and invite me over. I'm gonna share the recipe. Perfectly cooked carrots. They're not just like melting in your mouth. They have a little tiny bit of texture still left in them. So good. Hold on, let me take one more bite. So, make this for your family. Make this when you're sick. Like I said, put it in airtight containers, freeze it. It's so easy. I actually like to freeze it without noodles if I'm gonna freeze it, because when you reheat it, sometimes the noodles will disintegrate because they're being cooked too long. But this is amazing. Make it yourself, try it yourself, make it for your kids. Send me messages if there's another soup you want me to make. I know it's almost summer, but I will do soups a lot more once it starts getting cooler in the fall and the winter. So enjoy this, subscribe, like, share it with your friends. I'm actually gonna call my kids in here if you're still watching, and we'll see how much they like it. So, Dylan, Reese, will you come here, please?
Yeah. Okay.
So the real taste testers. Dylan, you go ahead. Reese will get you a spoon. Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
Okay, so how much do we like chicken noodle soup?
There's no words for it.
Because we love it. Okay, let me get a noodle for Reese.
I want chicken.
I put a lot of chicken in for you.
I know.
Come here, Reese. Ready? Still hot? How is it? So good. Okay, ready? You got this. Ooh, how is it, Reese? Oh, what's your favorite part? The noodles, the chicken, the veggies?
All of it.
All of it? Do you guys want some for lunch?
Mine now.
Okay,
Yes.
that is yours. All right, thank you guys so much. This is to help them boost their immune system after not feeling well for a couple days. We hope you guys like it, and we'll send some more videos out here soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Like and subscribe.